Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I understand that you can hear us. I want to welcome everyone who is on this webinar and everyone who will be listening to the recording of this webinar, which I've already started. Before we get going with Kerry McClure, I want to introduce myself. I'm Nicole Hodson, the Executive Director of the NANP. I want to welcome you and thank you for joining us today. I don't know about you all, but I really need this today. I stood in line for an hour and 15 minutes at Costco just so that I could get toilet paper and paper towels. So that was a little stressful. And so this meditation today, I'm really looking forward to it. Before we get started, I want to mention that if you're not aware, the NANP conference has been moved to, yeah, I think that's great. Thank you, Kirsten. Glad that you can see us. The NANP conference has been moved to a virtual event. And so if you haven't seen anything about us getting together, well, you know why. And we are going to get together virtually. We are going to maximize our virtual capacity to be able to sort of be with one another, if you will. So make sure that you go to HEALCon.org to check that out. Today we are in a webinar setting, so the only folks that you're able to see will be me and Kerry. And so unfortunately we won't be able to see you, but we did want to allow for a larger capacity because we had a very big showing last week. I'm delighted to have Kerry with us again to walk us through a beautiful meditation. Last week was amazing. We had such wonderful feedback. If at the end you have any comments, please feel free to leave them in the chat. And also I just wanted to point out that in the chat window toward the very bottom, you'll see a little box that has 3 dots in it. In that box, you can actually save the chat from this meeting, from this webinar. So if anybody says anything later on that you would like to save, you have that capacity. I'm not going to take up any more time. Kerry, I'm going to turn this beautiful experience over to you. I want to thank you in advance. And I hope everyone really just has a moment to come down and relax a little bit.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much, Nicole. And welcome to your, and I emphasize the word your, meditation. I personally approach meditation from a place of it being a journey. So I'd like to offer that to you as you settle in for this practice together this afternoon. So I like to always begin my meditation with what I call a hook or an anchor to bring me to my place of practice. So the message that I would like to share in today's practice is something around the idea of the distance between expectation and acceptance is how much we are willing to yield. The distance between expectation and acceptance is how much we are willing to yield. So what I'd like to offer you in this moment is to pause with that thought. Coming to your seat and wiggling around in your chair, whether you're on a cushion or whether you're on your sofa or wherever it is you find yourself sitting right now, I'd like to offer a moment of pause and a moment to settle into your bones. And as we move into the practice together this afternoon, I'd like to offer this moment of hooking into your practice. So I'll offer the anchor, and then I'll guide you through a few more steps so that if the anchor isn't resonating with you today for any reason, we'll have some other anchors or hooks along the way. So then this way you can make this meditation a journey that is very personal and grounding for your well-being for today. So this is what I like to call the release portion of the journey of the practice of mindful meditation. The distance between expectation and acceptance is how much we are willing to yield. One of life's most challenging lessons is the art of releasing. Whether it's expectation, loss, love, guilt, anger. It seems that often we struggle to hold on, and at the same time, we seem to struggle to release. So noticing the breath as you're continuing to settle into the journey. And at this juncture of the practice, you may find yourself allowing the eyes to either close or maybe the gaze is lowering. Continuing the journey with the idea that the hurt is real and that we need to acknowledge that so that when we're ready and able to release, we're no longer held back. We create the space to be fully in the moment. Gaining momentum to continue our journey to move forward. And this might be a place in your journey where you feel drawn to maybe place a hand at your heart and or at your belly. And without label or judgment, notice the movement of your breath. The breath is another lovely anchor or hook that we may use in the journey of our meditation practice. And if it serves you to keep your hands on your heart and or your belly, feel free. Otherwise, you can rest your hands where comfortable. And as we feel the hurt, we also have a real feeling of fear, particularly when unexpected change happens. It catches us off guard, yeah? And then we're thrown into a place of needing to deal with many unknowns. And the interesting thing is that the human condition causes us to go to great lengths to convince ourselves that we are in control of our lives. Yeah. So this is a lovely place where we may hook in or anchor to another of our practice, which is the physicality or physicalness of our body. So notice again, without judgment or label, how you are holding yourself in your bones. And as we release and shift towards a reset of thought, this is where the yielding comes in. Living with the uncomfortableness of uncertainty. Yeah. And in our mindfulness practice, being in the moment with what is. Which allows us the beautiful opportunity to inhabit the unknown. Not worried about what happened prior to coming together today, or anxious about what's coming next. And as we travel in a little bit deeper into the practice, another opportunity to anchor is noticing the thoughts that are passing through your mind. Imagine these thoughts as if there were white, puffy clouds moving across the sky. Noticing them and letting them go. And this opportunity to reset the thought of being with the opportunity to yield, however much that is for you, creates the opportunity to be in the moment as it is, and creating space for the opportunity to move forward from the hurt and or the fear. And as we start to turn the corner of our practice and begin the journey to return to our day, acknowledge the anchors along the way. The distance between expectation and acceptance is how much we are willing to yield. The breath moving in your body. The physicalness of your body. The thoughts passing through. And beginning to deepen the breath just a little bit. Maybe taking a little bit deeper inhale or a bit longer exhale. And beginning to wiggle your toes. Your fingers. And if your eyes have been closed, making an offering here to maybe flutter the eyes open enough to where the gaze is still more downward. And you're welcome to stay there, or feel free to now raise the gaze so that it's more forward towards the horizon. And taking a moment here to acknowledge your practice. This is something I found very useful in my own meditation journey over the years, is the pause at the end of the practice. Acknowledging that pause. Feeling the body settled into the seat that you are currently inhabiting. Feeling the release, either of the anchor that was shared with the distance between expectation and acceptance, is how much we're willing to yield. Or maybe your release today was your breath, or the holding in your body, or releasing a thought. The reset, how you feel now. And that acknowledgement of the ability to move forward, rather than the idea of move on. And as we continue to journey back fully into our day, allowing for a few minutes together at the end of practice to share a thought, or make a notation, or a quiet exit off the call, or however that idea of moving forward resonates with you, allowing for that time at the end of the practice. And as I bring this time together to a close, I'll share this thought. mindfulness is a pause. It's the space between reaction and response. That's where choice lives. Namaste. So Nicole, I'll turn the microphone back over to you.
Thank you, Kerry.
Thank you.
I think you brought me down about 25 decibels. That was amazing. As I said at the beginning, I personally really needed to be brought back down to the ground today. I sense that there are probably others who felt the same way, and that's why you came today. There are a lot of messages in the chat, and I'm just so very grateful to you for spending your time with us.
Thank you.
I want to tell everyone that we're recording this session, and we'll be making it available to everyone through a link through email. It'll be on our YouTube channel. And you know, these recordings, these meditations aren't only for members of NANP, they're for anybody who is interested. And then, you know, in addition to that, if you have clients or family members or friends, anybody in your circle who you think would benefit from these few moments of sanity in the midst of insanity right now, I encourage you to share the link. It's okay. They don't have to be members of NANP. It's for everyone. I think that right now it's important that we share as much as humanly possible in as many ways as humanly possible. This is just one small thing that we're doing here at NANP, but there are bigger, greater gestures and activities and actions that are taking place out there in the world. And I'm certain that our members are a part of a lot of them, because that's just who we are as a group.
Yep.
We're giving, we're loving, we're caring, we're supportive, we're wonderful. And Kerry, you're one of the most giving, loving, supportive of all. I have to tell you that when I realized that we couldn't have our in-person conference, and I'm not making this up, one of the first thoughts that flashed across my brain is, I'm not going to get a hug from Kerry. Kerry is the best hugger in the world. If you ever get the opportunity, take her up on it, because it's renewing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you next year, and I'm gonna ask for two.
I'll give you, yeah, for sure, 2.
So thank you, Kerry, again. Thank you, everyone who was here with us today. I hope you all have a wonderful and relaxing, albeit at home, weekend. And we'll look forward to next week. Keep an eye out for the email with the link to this recorded meditation, and also with the link to next week's meditation. We hope you'll join us again.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, Nicole, so much. Oh,
thank you.
Such
Thank
a blessing.
you,
Thank you. All right. Take good care, everyone. Bye.